Heath Field for tonight's matchup between the 12-13 Vibe of Florida and the 12-3 Spark of Oklahoma City. Hello again, everyone. I'm Todd Miller along with Taylor McKittrick. Chris back at our studio producing our broadcast, as well as the Spark Broadcasting Network crew behind the cameras and on the scene. It is a sunny and warm night, 94 degrees at first pitch. It feels like 104, and the winds are out of the south, a home run wind, if you will, out of the south at about 16 miles per hour. Why do you ask? It feels like opening night. It has been 32 days since the Oklahoma City softball team played against another team, the New York Rise. They won that game easily 12-3. 29 days since we saw the Celebrity All-Star game, and that was the last time the Spark were seen here at this facility before playing their last 11 on the road, 5 in Colorado, 3 in Florida, and 3 most recently of a rained-out 4-game series in New York. So tonight, it's Oklahoma City and Florida. These two have played 4 times. OKC 4-1 against the Vibe this season. We're back for tonight's starting lineups. And the first pitch, Maddie Pinta is in the circle tonight for the Spark here on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Dr. Luke and I want you to have sharply focused vision and clear sight.
We have lots of ways to make that happen.
If the outside surface of your eye is the problem, we have LASIK.
If the lens inside your eye is the problem, we have custom lens replacement.
People come from across America to have their vision corrected at ClearSight.
But for you, we're just down the street.
ClearSight, the ability to focus and see clearly, will bring you happiness every waking moment.
And because we want you to be happy,
2 minutes, Chris. Everything else will be 90 in game.
To have clear sight.
We'll agree on a down payment and then let you make payments on the rest
at 0% interest.
Why do we do that, Dr. Luke?
Why do we offer finance procedures at 0% interest?
Yeah.
Because it would have meant the world to me if they had been willing to do that when I had my procedure.
Can you hear me now?
I'm Dr. Anna.
And I'm Dr. Luke.
You'll find
turn
us
you all
at
the way up.
ClearSight.com.
At ClearSight, we do it right.
We're not finished until you're happy.
ClearSight.com.
Big things are happening at Mathis Homes. Save all summer long with price drop alerts all over the store. Their suppliers have cut prices and they're passing those savings on to you. Get new lower prices with top name recliners as low as $199 and huge markdowns on hundreds of sofas in all the latest styles. Now's your chance to save big for every room in your house. There's something for everyone. Plus, get 12-month no-interest financing and free delivery. Check out these price drop alerts and save at your furniture superstore, Mathis Home.
The Franchise.
In the new era of college football, we expect to be a program that is a year in and year out consistently a playoff contender. And I believe the sum of all of our parts with this football team, the 2025 version, gives us a chance to have a really good football team. Got a lot of work to do, a lot of improvement to do through the next several weeks in fall camp, and then even into the season and the challenges, how that will shape us and help us get better.
Your home for the Sooners. 107.7 The Franchise.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here to Tom Heath Field on the campus of Oklahoma Christian University in OKC. Tonight, it is the return of the Oklahoma City Spark, and we're expecting a good crowd here tonight on Youth Night. Tonight kicks off a season-ending 4-game homestand between the Florida Vibe and the Oklahoma City Spark. Tickets remain at OKCSpark.com for the final 3 evening games. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the Champions Cup will be contested here between New York, Florida, and Oklahoma City. Tickets remain for that event as well. Taylor, it feels like, as I mentioned, it's opening night. We have not seen this team in seemingly forever. 32 days since they last played against somebody other than the Celebrity All-Star team on this field. They won at 12-3 over New York, and this team continues to get better since we've seen them. They've added Kelly Maxwell.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them play tonight. I mean, I feel like it's been like 4 years since I've seen them play, so excited to see what their energy is like tonight, too, along with the fans.
If you're watching on the Spark Broadcasting Network, you can see that the starters and reserves for Oklahoma City are now being introduced, and along with them is each young lady that is going out to the third base baseline as well. The reason it is youth night, one of 4 consecutive evenings in which they will have promotions here at Tom Heath Field leading up to Wednesday night's regular season finale. Maddie Penta is going to pitch tonight, and Taylor, she has been brilliant this year. We don't have her overall statistics because they're still awaiting some numbers from the recently concluded road trip in New York, but I can tell you that she accounted for 14 of the 15 outs when she pitched against Florida in Bradenton last week. She struck out 2 and then had 2 putouts. So 14 of the 15 outs directly responsible by Maddie Penta.
Yeah, and she's been nothing but great. And actually thinking about it last season when they actually picked her up, I believe, in the middle of the season, that's a great ad, especially last season. Now this season, just performing like she's really great.
Sometimes I don't think Oklahoma City realize what they have here. In my opinion, you knew I talked about this before we came on, in a single game, this might be the best softball team in the world. Now, I'm not talking about international teams, although I think Oklahoma City would beat a lot of international teams. But in my opinion, you take a team out of the Haas League, you take the teams they're playing, you take other teams that we're not seeing around the country, and Taylor, I really think OKC's as good as any of them.
No, I agree with you. I remember having that conversation, and I think you got to look at the players that are on their team. I mean, they were just stacked and loaded.
Let's listen in now to our national anthem before a good crowd here tonight at Tom Heath Field. Oklahoma City and Florida coming up here momentarily.
We have protected and continue to protect our freedoms. Joining us on the field is the Little League Explosion softball team, and with the singing of our national anthem by Pat Gibbons.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem here from Oklahoma City before the first pitch tonight. It is the Spark hosting the Florida Vibe. Let's meet the starting lineups. First of all, for legendary UCLA All-American and current Liberty head coach Dot Richardson and the Florida Vibe. Again, the record is 12-13. Leading off at center field is Carmen Greenwood. Batting second for the Vibe at second base is Hannah Adams. Batting third, wearing number 17, playing first base, Taylor Pleasant. Batting cleanup, wearing number 23, and in left field is Kara Canedo. Batting fifth in right field is Rachel Roop. Hitting sixth, the designated player Grayson Ratcliffe. Batting seventh in catching, wearing number 20, Sierra Frazier. Hitting eighth and at third base, Sarah Mosley. And batting ninth and at shortstop, Jillian Sellis. One more time for the Florida Vibe. It's Greenwood in center, Adams at second, Pleasant at first, Canedo in left, Roop in right, Ratcliffe the DP. Frazier is the catcher, Mosley at third, and Sellis is at shortstop. Maddie Penta about to take to the circle tonight, and this will be her second home field appearance of 2025. She defeated the New York Rise back in January in the season opening 4-game sweep for Oklahoma City over New York. Defensively behind Penta tonight, Jocelyn Allo is the first baseman. Alina Torres is the second baseman. At shortstop, Alyssa Brito, and Sydney Sherrill anchors third base. It is Riley Boone in left, Jada Coleman in center, KK Madry in right field with Haley Lee, the catcher, and we will see Kinsey Hansen tonight as the DP. Maddie Pinta is in the circle. Our umpires tonight behind home plate is Troy Kuykendall. At first base is Brett Harden, and at third base is Bubba Ewald. A proud supporter of Oklahoma City softball is the Oklahoma Chevy Team Dealers. They are the proud season sponsor of Oklahoma City women's professional softball. Spark wearing gold, white, and white, and Florida wearing the white over navy bottoms. And I'll tell you, Taylor, there's a good crowd out there in the right field area, and those bleachers have to just be blistering hot and looking into that setting sun. Cannot, at least for the time being, be a real pleasurable experience.
Yeah, we were talking that before the game, and I mean, I would really hate to be sitting out in right field. It just it's already hot, and that's probably just making it 10 times worse.
Here we go. First home media of the year between Oklahoma City and Florida. It is the fourth media of the last 7 starts for Oklahoma City against the Vibe. Down in Florida, they outscored Florida 39-15. That also included the victory over the Vibe in Colorado. And here we go. First pitch from Pinta downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Greenwood, Adams, and then LSU first baseman Taylor Pleasant here with the first. Nobody on, nobody out. Winds out of the south at about 15 to 16 miles per hour. Pinta brings home the pitch. In there for a strike, and it evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. Game time temperature, 94, as we told you. It feels like 104. And we are locked into the upper 90s to low 100s now for at least the next 7 days here in the Sooner State. 1 ball, 1 strike to Greenwood. Here's Pinta's pitch. Misses away, 2-1 the count. These two will get very familiar with one another. They'll play 4 times in this series, and then we'll see each other in the Champions Cup coming up starting on Saturday evening. We don't know the pairings yet. We know it's 3 teams. Each team will play 1 day of a doubleheader. 3 balls and a strike down to Carmen Greenwood. Jada Coleman shifted over towards the gap in left center field. Riley Boone a little bit more towards the left field foul territory area and fairly deep. So they're almost pulling center around to left. Greenwood is a oppo hitter and a swing and miss on a high fastball, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Looks like to me it's pretty close to a packed house here in the covered seating area directly down below us. Wind gently blowing to the breeze out in right center. The pitch, swing and a miss. Pinta strikes out Greenwood. And she continues her dominance, Taylor, of the Florida Vibe. And that was a good job of coming back from an early disadvantage in the count.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Going from a 3-1 count to a strikeout is a really great job by Pinta.
Here is Hannah Adams, the second baseman. Hannah Adams wearing number 8 in navy on the back of the white Vibe jerseys. Here's Pinta's first pitch, up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. The Florida Vibe play in a smaller facility in Bradenton, Florida, which is on the west coast of the state of Florida. It's part of the Sarasota-Bradenton metropolitan area, an area that has over 900,000 residents. It is growing rapidly. Called strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Road Warriors, that's what the Vibe have been. They have played in Kansas City. They have played in the Denver metro area. They've played in Atlanta, New York, Orlando, and now in Oklahoma City this season. Here's the 1-1. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Oklahoma City just coming back yesterday from what was scheduled to be a 4-game road trip. The first game of that series was weathered out in New York. They won 2 of 3 from the Rise and now have beaten New York. All but 1 of 9 meetings this year and have dominated New York in the 2 years. Here's the 2-1. Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. So just as she did to Greenwood, Pinta has fallen 3-1 behind the hitter, this time Hannah Adams. Riley Boone deep in left, Madry deep in right, Coleman in a little bit more shallow than usual. Now she's backing up a little bit in left center field. Pinta delivers the 3-1 pitch. Strike of the outside corner, and it's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Troy Kuykendall again is calling our balls and strikes tonight behind home plate. Nobody on, 1 out, 3-2 upcoming to Hannah Adams, the second baseman. Pinta's pitch, late swing, and it's lined hard and twisted out of play up the left field side. You can see why Riley Boone is playing where she is and not in her usual left field position. She is probably 10 or 11 paces from the foul line and left, and is probably about 4 or 5 feet from the start of the warning track out there. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, left center field. Out from short goes Brito, and she makes the catch. And there's 2 gone.
Yeah, and great job by Brito right there. Just going back on that ball, knowing that Riley Boone is deep and knowing that that ball's hit shallow enough where she can go back and make that catch.
Here's Taylor Pleasant, former LSU Tiger. They actually had her name as Taylor Adams on the lineup card when it was turned in, and Taylor McKittrick said, whoa, I don't think that's right. Unless she's gotten married, it's Taylor Pleasant. Looked on the roster, and that's what it was. That online provided by the Vibe. First pitch downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. So, well, it's been a while for the Spark to be here at home. Taylor is like she's not missed a beat. Nobody on, 2 out, just underway here in the first of a 4-game series. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights at 7. 2-0 the count. So Penta has fallen behind at least 2 balls to each of the first 3 Florida hitters. Came back from 3-1 down to strike Greenwood out in a 3-2 pitch. Induced to pop out into shallow left that was flagged down by Brito. Now out towards the circle goes Haley Lee. If you wonder why the Oklahoma Sooners have dominated college softball, well, you may be looking at, again, excluding international competition, maybe the single best professional women's softball team in the world. And largely the roster is comprised of former Patty Gasso proteges. Vibe 3-1 against, or Oklahoma City 3-1 against the Vibe this season as Lee has returned back to home plate. Penta winds, brings home the pitch. It's downstairs, and it's 3-0. Maddie Penta, among her first 3 appearances and 2 starts, and again, we don't have the full season statistic numbers, has worked 12 innings, faced 50 batters, and allowed a batted average of less than 142. Here's the 3-0. Downstairs, and it's a 2-out walk to Taylor Pleasant. Keeps the inning alive for the cleanup hitter, Cara Canetto, C-A-N-E-T-T-O. That's a rare walk this year as well for Penta. She did not walk a batter in a complete game win in Bradenton last week over the Vibe. She has only walked 8 batters this season among her first 12 innings of work. First pitch looks good, called down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
And I definitely think he missed that one.
Florida last week took the finale of the series 6-4. Runner goes, pitch fouled back, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 batters in, a 1-1 count is the earliest that Penta has thrown a strike to one of the Florida hitters. Cara Canetto hit safely in 2 of the 3 games in Bradenton last week. Just misses away, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. Well, it would be a freak thing if we do not play the rest of the season as scheduled. Should not be weather delays, should not be rainouts, according to the forecast. We are locked in, as we told you. 2-1 pitch, outside quarter, and it's 2-2. Jordan Johnson will be in the circle tonight for the Vibe. Former UCA Purple Bear out of Conway, Arkansas, where she is the assistant head coach of that program. In comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Or no, she did not. Excuse me. She just got a piece of it. I mean, barely a piece, Taylor, because you couldn't hear it from up here.
Yeah, that was a good off-speed by Penta right there.
She's primarily been working up with the zone and throwing a lot of fastballs, but she did throw the changeup there, and you're right, Canetto was very, very fortunate to even get a piece of it. Here we go. Righty versus lefty, the 2-2. Fouled it off again. Every pitch carries a little bit more damage on a night like tonight. I mean, not literal damage, but fatigue on the body. It is a tough, tough day. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Pinta's pitch. Fouled it off again, so 3 consecutive foul balls. That by far and away was the best contact that Canedo has made. Yeah,
Caneto's doing a great job of just battling in this count, obviously going into 2-2 and then fouling off 3 pitches.
Foul balls this season brought to you by Becky Stevens, State Farm agent. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, left side, glove by Torres. Throw to first in time. Hit it over. That ball was headed for right. Torres to her left, handled it cleanly, and flipped to Allo at first. And Florida leaves her runner aboard. 1 left after a half inning. Oklahoma City coming up, and there's no score on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Empty set. There's the snap. Back to pass. Looks right. Darts one across the middle. Intercepted. Kip Lewis has it. Far sideline 50. He's down the sidelines 40. He's to the 30. Kip Lewis down the sideline being chased to the 5. He reaches. Touchdown. Touchdown. Kip Lewis pick 6. Kip Lewis pick 6. And the Sooners lead it at Auburn.
107.7 The Franchise is your exclusive home for Oklahoma Sooners sports.
Here's the 0-1. Swings and hits it deep to center field. We'll see you Saturday afternoon in the winner's bracket. Ella Parker walks it off, and Oklahoma has beaten Tennessee.
Daily complete coverage of Oklahoma Sooners sports.
Waukee offensive rebound. Back out to Sparky. Forsythe around to pick. He'll launch. Got it. He's still hot from Oxford.
107.7 The Franchise, 1560 AM and 103.3 FM The Franchise 2 and the Franchise mobile app.
More than 600,000 Oklahomans have disabilities. We can't
Also,
afford to leave great employees behind just because they do things differently.
Who we are and what we accomplish
are much more important.
Hire an Oklahoman with a disability and gain dependability, commitment, and lower turnover. Reach out. Oklahoma Rehabilitation Services, okdrs.gov.
All right, Oklahoma City, it's time to get the bats going. It is time to make some noise. Let's hear it.
Half an inning to the books from Oklahoma Christian, no score. Coleman, Allo, Hansen, Brito, Cheryl, Lee, Boone, Torres, and KK Madry, the batting lineup tonight against right-hander Jordan Johnson. Jada Coleman, All-American, 4-time national champion in Oklahoma, takes Jordan's first pitch at the letters for a strike, and we have moved to the bottom of the first scoreless. 0-1 the count to the center fielder. Jada Coleman has had a great last 11 games, swinging a miss for a strike, and it's 0-2. She has hit over 660 over the last 11 games in which she's played. This is start number 16 tonight for Oklahoma City. The Spark 12-3. Stays alive as Coleman fouls that one off the top of the netting. No balls, 2 strikes. It was a big-time power surge in Gotham City 2 nights ago for the Oklahoma City Spark. They hit 7 home runs in that victory over New York. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. They have been on a power surge of late. They've hit 14 home runs in their first 9 games. They are well past 25 for the season. In comes the 1-2. Popped it up. Will it get on a play? Frazier, the catcher, to the backstop, makes the catch. And Coleman is out number 1, and she raced right to the netting, stuck her glove up, and was able to handle it before it caught the netting.
Yeah, she did a really great job reacting to that, having a great jump on it. I thought it was going to go to the stands, but great job by her reacting to that.
Well, there's enough of a breeze out of the south that I think it really helped Florida that time, and the catcher, Frazier. Here is Allo at his best to face Jocelyn with nobody aboard. And that's exactly what Jordan Johnson will do. Righty versus righty, and the pitch in tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Allo was the most valuable player in the Colorado Sparkler Pro Challenge, in which Oklahoma City won the inaugural event, going 4-1. The pitch downstairs, 2-0 the count. They beat New York. They beat Florida. They lost to TC Colorado. Semifinals, despite being the 1 seed, they easily handled New York and then beat TC Colorado for the finals. Good swing and fouled it back. That was a home run swing, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Beautiful facility here at the Oklahoma Christian campus, Tom Heath Field. Play some pretty good Division II softball here. Here's Jordan's 2-1 pitch. Boy, that looked good. Allo laid off, and she's ahead 3-1.
Yeah, and I think his zone is just changing a little bit throughout the game. It's almost getting tighter, and it's only the bottom of the first inning. He
being Troy Kuykendall, our home plate umpire. Now, Jordan better be careful, 3-1. Jordan rocks, fires, and brings it home. And a ground ball to second baseman Hannah Adams over to first. And that's 2 out. You know, you and I have talked about this, that for all the accolades, the power accolades of Allo, the fact that she hits for an average and does not strike out a lot, I think is one of the more remarkable parts of her career. Here's Kenzie Hansen, the DP, as Allo had some words for Hansen about Johnson as she trotted by Kenzie. First pitch to K9 is downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. So Hansen getting the series opener off tonight, at least defensively. She is not catching. Haley Lee is behind the plate for Maddie Penta. Nobody on, no score. 2 out here in the bottom of the first. The pitch popped it up pretty deep. Didn't get enough of it, though. Greenwood to her left is there and puts it away. So Hansen with a long, loud out, but nothing doing for the Spark of the first. We have completed 1. Zip, zip our score on 107.7 The Franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
The Franchise.
I listen to Mateer talk, right? You talk about being humble, competitive, right? I mean, I think it was Jordan Rodgers named the best quarterback. I mean, he thanked him and everything.
With
that's what you love, man. That's when you're a player. You know you're
ball by your franchise players.
Yeah, I don't know. Humble is what I want my quarterback. I want a guy with a little bit of mouth, a little flash.
Oh, he's going to give you the flash when he's got them shoulder pads on.
The Franchise Players with Kelly Gregg and Jerry Ramsey on 107.7 The Franchise.
Heading to OU, Texas? Stay at the home for Sooner fans, the Renaissance Hotel in Addison. Join the OU Club of Dallas for the Beat Texas Pep Rally Friday night with Boomer and Sooner, the Sooner Schooner, Spirit Squad, Roughnecks, and the Pride of Oklahoma. Saturday night, celebrate the victory at the Renaissance Hotel Bar. Accommodations start at just $190 per night. Visit OUClubofDallas.com and reserve your room before they sell out. Funds raised go to scholarships for Dallas area OU students.
Rigid 66 can be your new home. Located at the corner of historic Route 66 and the John Kilpatrick Turnpike, you are minutes from downtown, minutes from multiple lakes, and minutes from dining and shopping options to keep you busy. Rigid 66 luxury apartments offer 24-hour fitness with a resort-style pool. Rigid 66 is ready for you. Call about current specials. Rigid 66, a Case & Associates property.
Tom Heath Field, the place to be the next 3 nights as the 4-game series with Florida continues. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock first pitch. It's Team Jersey night. Tuesday night at 7, it is Luau night. And then the series finale against Florida Wednesday night at 7 is Military Appreciation night. They've got freebies as well. Glow sticks, rally towels, leis, and American flags, plus the best softball on the planet right here through Wednesday. Tickets available, OKCSpark.com. Penta walked 1, struck out 1. Did not yield a run in her first inning of work. Zip, zip, we're through 1. She'll get Roop, Ratcliffe, and Frazier, 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Vibe. Dot Richardson is the head coach for Florida. Although I'm not, yeah, she is here. I didn't see her, and she was hidden almost over by the Spark dugout. Dot, of course, one of the legendary players in the early days of college softball back during the UCLA dynasty. Sinking liner, knocked down by Sherrill, picks it up and throws to first. And Roop is out number 1. And Roop got a late break because she initially thought that Sydney had caught that ball before it hit the ground.
Yeah, that's exactly what she thought. And Sydney actually bobbled it. Even though it already hit the ground, she bobbled it when she came up. So it may have been a closer play if Rupp would have just ran it out.
Dot Richardson, of course, turned softball upside down this past year, leading Liberty to the Super Regionals. Here's Grayson Ratliff, the designated player. Called strike away, 0-1 the count. She's the head coach of Liberty, and Liberty became the first 16 seed to knock off a number 1 seed in the opening round regionals. Went to College Station and took out the overall number 1 seed Texas A&M. Swing and a miss on a changeup. No balls, 2 strikes, and Ratliff was way fooled by that pitch.
Yeah, Maddie Pinton, I think, is just starting to settle in the second inning, already 0-2, and only threw a total of 3 pitches in this inning so far.
She retired 4 of 5 to start the ball game. Lead hitter out here in the first. The pitch on the handle and popped up and off the first base dugout. And remains no balls, 2 strikes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night at 7. Tickets OKCSpark.com. Really good crowd here at hand tonight. I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried just because 3 weeks and during the summer, sometimes people get out of the rhythm of coming to games. Doesn't look to be the case tonight. Pitch is low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're going to be having clinics for youth. I believe they're $100 a player. I think that's right. And it's going to be with the Spark, Vibe, and New York Rise players leading up to the Challenger Cup. Ground ball, left side, to her left, Cheryl to first in time. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, once again, great job by Pinta. Just starting to settle in more this inning. Every at-bat that we've seen so far started off on top.
And tonight is not something that we've not seen from Pinta. As dominating as she has been, Taylor, she has been a little bit rocky, not necessarily giving up runs, but base runners in the first couple of innings, and then it's usually lights out from that point. Here's Frazier, the catcher, who takes a mighty rip and misses for a strike, 0-1 the count. Sierra Frazier wearing number 20, outlined in navy over the white jersey. Hitting the number 7 spot tonight for Dot Richardson. In comes the 0-1 pitch. Called strike, 0-2. I think 2 of the better professional softball coaches in the country going at it tonight. And they're really doing it from different positions. Flores, of course, a junior college coach here in Oklahoma at Seminole. Dot Richardson at Division I Liberty, a swing and a miss on a changeup. Down goes Frazier. Lee throws to first to complete the strikeout. And Pinta works a clean second, now has 2 Ks in the books. 1.5 through, no score in Oklahoma City on 107.7, the franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health, too, with Nature Made Probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It's summertime, and kids are playing in the summer sun. But before you know it, Oklahoma parents and caregivers will be swimming in back-to-school to-dos. Visit backtoschoolok.com to get your checklist for everything you need to know about birth certificates, shot records, immunizations, and well-child exams. Get an A+ on back-to-school readiness at backtoschoolok.com.
The franchise.
Bigger win here. Oklahoma baseball program getting Alec Blair or the Oklahoma basketball program getting Alec Blair?
I think it's baseball.
DNB on the radio.
The logjam of the wings right now is very impressive, and so he's going to have to really earn some playing time, or maybe a couple years ago he might have just walked in and been some dude that would have saw a lot of minutes.
DNB on the radio with Daniel Bell and Bob Prisbello on 107.7 The Franchise.
Pinta, no runs allowed, 2 strikeouts through 2 innings. Welcome back to the booth. Todd Miller, Taylor McKittrick on a Sunday evening. Beautiful night, but it is hot. Temperature still in the 90s, and the heat index hovered around the 101-degree mark. Brito to lead off. Cheryl Lee, Boone if anybody reaches, against Jordan Johnson, who got through the top 3 of a brutal lineup. Unscathed the first. Here's the first pitch. Down it in to Alyssa Brito. 1 ball, no strikes. Brito through 9 games has an on-base percentage of over 600, a slugging percentage of 864. And she adds to that with a solid single into left field. Now it's misplayed by Caneto. And off to second base goes Brito. Slides in ahead of the throw. All right, Miss Softball, how are you going to score that? I think it's a single and an error. How do you think the official next door is going to score it?
I have to agree with you. I mean, it's definitely an error. It's a single if she doesn't make that error in the outfield, giving her that, giving her another base, really. So I give it an error with you.
All right, I'm scoring it single E7. First scoring opportunity of the night, though, comes here with a second for the Spark. It's Sydney Sherrill, who's been hitting well as of late, coming to the plate. Sydney on base percentage of .483, hitting .440 through her first 9 games this year. Former Florida State All-American that she takes downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Sydney Sherrill playing for the Spark for a 3rd consecutive year, one of only a handful of players on the roster that have played since opening day back in 2023. Fouls that one straight back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, there's only one other, and that is Michelle Moultrie. She is not in the lineup tonight. Keilani Ricketts had been on the roster the last 2 years. She now is playing in the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Called strike at the belt buckle, the inside quarter, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tell you what, they have it going to the OS League. There is no doubt about it. Weekends, you can watch games on ESPN. Go to any restaurant, it's usually on. There's the 1-2. Grounded off the pitcher, and that's going to be a base hit for Sherrill, and over to third base goes Brito. Johnson wore that one on the hop, and it shot towards the third base chalk line, so there was no play for Jordan, and Mosley could not get over there.
Yeah, and it's almost like Johnson didn't see it off the bat because her glove wasn't even the right position, and it didn't look like it was hit that hard off the turf, but you know, we're not out there, so maybe it was hit harder and she just couldn't get her glove up in time.
Richardson briefly stuck her head out of the dugout, asked Johnson if she's okay. She said yes, so they're at the corners on a strange infield hit and a fielded error after a single by Brito. Here's Haley Lee, who is very capable of making it 3-0. Johnson delivers. It's popped up. Will it stay playable for Pleasant near the dugout, and she overruns it. Ran right into the netting in front of the Florida Vibe dugout. Haley Lee, the career home run leader for the Oklahoma City Spark. Haley Lee homered as part of a power surge on Long Island on Friday night in the 12-3 Spark victory. Here's the 0-1. Laid off of it, fastball away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Our 2025 season is proudly presented by the Oklahoma Chevy Team Dealers. Spark Softball would like to thank Chevy Team Dealers for their commitment and support of women's professional softball in the state of Oklahoma. 1 ball, 1 strike. Changeup looked good, dropped down and called a ball. 2-1 the count. Oklahoma City trying to apply an early knockout punch to this Florida club. They have dominated the Florida Vibe in 2 years. That's lined into left field, but caught. Caneto now is going to throw into third. Is coming home to score as Brito. And it's 1-0 Spark. Haley Lee, if she elevates that ball at all, instead of 1-0, it is 3-0. But it was lined right at Kara Caneto, and I was surprised she just immediately threw it to third. She knew that Brito was going to tag and score, and Alyssa did so without a throw.
Yeah, well, also in warm-ups, I saw her taking ground balls, and she wasn't throwing all the way to 4 very hard, so I'm wondering if there's an arm issue going on there. But, yeah, very surprised that she didn't throw all the way.
Here comes Riley Boone as the Boone chants come out, and 1-0 on Haley Lee's RBI sac fly. Sherrill remains at first. Third baseman is in. First pitch downstairs, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Leah Amica who is also a former All-American at UCLA, one of the 3 assistant coaches. Amico joined by Bob Pinto and Mike Scott as Richardson's assistants. And now they're going to go out and talk in the circle to Johnson. And Amber Flores is going to use this as an opportunity to talk to Sydney Sherrill and her hitter, Riley Boone. Amber Flores, the only coach the Oklahoma City Spark has ever known. Last year got at OKC to a 20-7 record. Her career record is 53-26. She was right around 500 in the first year of the team back in 2023. That year they played the Texas Smoke, USSSA Pride, and another team, I believe it was SAS Sports. In comes the 1-0 pitch. Runner goes and hit and run. And that got a piece of Flores, almost on the ankle maybe. That's why you heard the groans from the crowd. And how about a smart of the old head coach a little bit?
Yeah, it looked like it almost went like right between her legs, but she definitely wasn't ready for it. But it looked like that was also a hit and run called by Flores.
Well, there's a lot of options that Flores has when one Riley Boone is at the plate. A combination of her ability to slap, bunt, and her speed makes a lot of options possible. There goes the runner again. Ball flying into left field. Canedo makes a running catch, and Sherrill is halfway to second, scurries back to first, now with 2 outs. Amber Flores, and we talked about this in the opening weekend of the season. It's been long enough. It's been 15 years since she last played in Norman, but she was one of the greats in the early days of Patty Gasso's run to building national prominence to the Sumer softball program. Here's Alina Torres, the second baseman. Runner goes, pitch downstairs, throwing a second on line, but in underneath the tag is Sherrill, stolen base. Pretty good throw that time from Frazier, and Sellis out in front of the bag did a good job to handle it and snap down the tag.
Yeah, that was a really good throw. But great job by Sydney Sherrill getting a good lead.
1-0 the count to Torres. A base hit makes it 2-0 Oklahoma City. We're in the second. Amber Flores, at the time that she left Norman, was the all-time leading home run hitter in Sooner softball history with 56. 2-0 the count. She now coaches the number 1 and number 6 all-time home run hitters in Sooner history, Allo and Kinsey Hansen. 1-0 Spark in the second. Here's the 2-0 offering. Downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. Jordan Johnson played at the University of Central Arkansas, as we told you, in Conway, is the school's assistant softball coach. She won 53 of 84 decisions in her career with the Purple Bears. There's ball 4. So first and second now. Let's see if Madry can come through with a 2-out hit. Jordan Johnson, because she pitched in a program for 4 years that is not really a national power. You don't hear about him a lot. But she was a really good pitcher. Told you she won 53 games. She also registered more than 500 strikeouts, 545 to be exact. First pitch to Madry, popped up left side. Sellis underneath it, and she has it to retire the side. 2 hits and error produces a run. 2 left for the Spark. We go to the third, 1-0. Oklahoma City on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, roll rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
Tess is going home with the prize. Let's make some noise for her.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
The Franchise.
I've never trusted a rookie quarterback, and inexperience. Last year, perfect storm, worst offense ever, right at OU. It just wasn't one thing last year, but it was the most important thing, is quarterback play.
The Franchise player.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk to me all you want about injuries. You can talk to me about playing, different O-line combinations. Jackson, being a young quarterback, wasn't able to elevate guys around him.
The Franchise players with Kelly Gregg and Jerry Ramsey on 107.7 The Franchise.
1-0 Oklahoma City. We move to the top of the third inning. Scoring correction, double no error on Alyssa Brito. So no errors in that half inning defensively for the Vibe. A double, an infield hit, and a sac fly. That's the difference, 1-0. Maddie Penta has retired 4 in a row. She's retired 6 of 7, and she'll get 8, 9, and 1 here in the third. First pitch to third baseman Sarah Mosley is a fastball away. 1 ball, no strikes. I incorrectly said something, and I went back and looked. This is the home debut for Maddie Penta in 2025. She did not, I repeat, did not pitch against the Rise back in June. Fly ball, shallow center field, out from second. Torres, she dropped it. Looked a little unsettled underneath that ball. And it just hit her glove and popped right out, and that will be an error, the first of the ball game for either side.
Yeah, it just looked like it hit the wrong part of that glove and just popped right out.
Amber Pfizer, Megan Golden, Taryn Ritz were the 3 pitchers used in that 4-game season opening sweep by the Spark back in June. So 1 on, nobody out. Jillian Sellis is the batter, shows bunt and pops it back to the netting of the third base side for a strike. Celis, Jillian Sellis, starting shortstop for Florida. You look at the season series, Oklahoma City, their wins have been by 12-4, 11-2, and 12-3 counts. The close games have been won by Florida. That was the only victory the Vibe had. There's a strike, and it's 0-2. That was a 6-4 win in the getaway game down in Bradenton, Florida last week. Carmen Greenwood on deck. Swing and a miss. Down goes Sellis. That was not a real good at bat by Jillian. So 1 strikeout thus far in each of the first 3 innings for Maddie Penta. And here is Greenwood, who did strike out to start the ball game after being ahead 3-1 of the count. Wind persisted out of the south, 15, 16, 17 miles per hour. She shows bunt, and it's a strike. Spark were ready if the Vibe had something on. Greenwood did not get the bunt down. Mosley did not try to advance from first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Penta has had better stuff. We've seen it throughout the course of the year, but you know what? She's been good enough to shut Florida out through 2 1/3. Downstairs, 2-1, and that's an example of what we're talking about, not having her best stuff. She has worked behind the count a lot.
Yeah, just something that we're not used to seeing from her.
She's only had 2 base runners. The 2-out walk to Pleasant, who was stranded back at the first, and a leadoff error by Torres, who dropped a pop-up at second. 3-1 the count. Fans below thought that was a strike. This Spark team has been pretty good defensively all season long. Penta's pitch fouled off, 3-2 the count. So let's see if Maddie can get Carmen for a second time after trailing 3-1 of the count. Three balls, two strikes to the left-handed hitting leadoff hitter and center fielder Greenwood. The pitch. Swing and a miss. She got her. Down and away, and Carmen swung over the top of it. 4 strikeouts, and put an asterisk by that one, partner. That's the biggest of the 4 to date for Pinta.
Yeah, and great job by Pinta right there, working a lot of out on her, and then those last 2 pitches going in and finally getting her.
Here's Hannah Adams, Florida's last hope. Lines that pitch foul up the left field side. Headed strike 1. Adams popped out to Brito at shortstop, out in shallow left field to end the first inning. This is my favorite uniform look for the Spark. The yellow, gold, if you will, over the white. Pitch downstairs. Good stop by Lee. 1 ball, 1 strike. Haley has driven home the only run, an RBI sac fly after a double and an infield hit back in the second inning for OKC. Pinta's 1-1. Lined into left center field, and they had her shifted that way. Coleman gets over there, quickly gets the ball into third and holds the runner to second base. Goodness gracious, that was a great play by Jada Coleman.
Yeah, it took a really great angle. I mean, had it really read it really great off the bat and just took an angle, cut it off, and got it in really fast.
Now batting third baseman number 17, Taylor Pleasant.
Here's Taylor Pleasant. I don't know if Mosley goes first to home, but I know that was a terrific defensive play by one of the best to ever play the position, Coleman. Fastball inside corner to Pleasant, strike 1. Taylor walked, was left aboard for the Vibe back in the first. Florida has stranded 1 through 2 innings. Oklahoma City left 2 in their second inning, in which they grabbed the lead 1-0. Righty versus lefty, the 0-1. Did she go? They appeal to third. No, says our third base umpire, Bubba Ewald. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. About a third of the infield, if you're watching, can see that is in the shadows. And it's just about to reach the pitcher's circle completely, the 1-1. And there for a strike, 1-2. And I talk about that often because that is really hard. It is really hard to be a hitter and be in the shadows and see the ball coming at the velocity that it is right at you, coming from the light to the darkness. The pitch. Did she go around? Yes, she did. They'll throw to first, and the inning is over. Ewald had no choice but to say she went around because Pleasant took off immediately. She knew it. 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left for Florida. After 2.5, Oklahoma City leads 1-0 here in the series opener against the Vibe on 107.7, The Franchise, and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Oklahoma DRS helps job seekers with disabilities become taxpayers.
Their whole thing is to help people with disabilities go back to work.
They knew that I would be
Oklahoma
successful
City Spark
if I
is proud
did
to
not give
represent
up.
our city, community, and state. Show our pride. Join us singing Oklahoma.
I'm just glad that DRS was there. Empower yourself. Talk to DRS Vocational Rehabilitation.
Or services for the blind today.
OKDRS.com. 800-487-4042.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year. Tyler Media and First United Bank. Care.
franchise.
To get the buy-in is not an easy thing to do, as many coaches will tell you. But I've always chosen, instead of making my guys do something, I can get them to do whatever I want. But I want to inspire and to motivate and challenge. And that's how we've created the buy-in, with our players, to get our guys excited to go dominate practice, dominate the minutia, dominate the meeting room, and to play at a really, really high elite level.
Your home for the Sooners. 107.7 The Franchise.
Florida will go to the bullpen for the first time. Jordan Johnson gives up 1 earned run in 2 innings. Johnson did not strike out a batter. She walked 1, and she will give way to Estelle Czech, Czech, from the University of Texas. So Czech will get the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the Spark lineup. In the numbers, 1 run earned, 2 hits, and a walk for Jordan Johnson. Jada Coleman, who fouled out to the catcher right up near the net to lead off the bottom of the first, leads off the third. Jumps to the first pitch and knocks it into play, strike number 1. Same time, same bat channels tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, first pitch, 6:55 on the Spark Broadcasting Network and 107.7 The Franchise and the Franchise Worldwide app. Here's the 0-1. Popped out of play, left side, no balls, 2 strikes. If you haven't made it out to Tom Heath Field, come out for the final 3 games of the regular season if you get a chance, or drive in from wherever you may be listening and see the Champions Cup as Oklahoma City looks to defend their title that they won in Chattanooga, Tennessee last year. Advance tickets, OKCSpark.com. Check deals and the left-hander's pitch. Rise ball away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Heath Field, the 3rd venue that either full-time or part-time the Spark has called home in 3 years. That almost hit Coleman as she goes to the ground, hopscotch it out of the way. Crowd didn't like that, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and that ball came in quick for a second. I thought it hit her for a second.
That's how athletic she is. First 6 games of their existence in 2023, they played not too far from here on the Central Oklahoma campus, then finished the rest of that year at Devon Park. Played all of last year at Devon. Another pop foul and a play. Foul balls brought to you by Becky Stevens, your State Farm agent. And then this year, as we've told you, the reason was made just because there's so many other events besides professional softball at Devon Park in the summer. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball up the middle, and the Sooner gets the best of the Longhorn. Jada Coleman with a leadoff single, and look out, that's trouble in the base pass.
Yeah, and Coleman just had such a better at-bat than her first one. Obviously, she worked herself into 0-2 count again, but then seeing 2 balls and then making her pay on that one.
Here is Allo, who grounded out second to first. A lot of options to play with here for Amber Flores. Allo wearing her patented number 78 in white of the back of the gold jersey, outlined in blue. Pitch off the catcher's glove, and over to second goes Coleman on a pass ball. So now for sure anything to the outfield as far as a hit is concerned makes it 2-0. Tina Floyd in our opening night broadcast told you that there's so many things going on at Devon Park that you put up and take down signage all season long. It's just really a tedious and difficult process for a home facility. Checks pitch downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Another Longhorn versus Sooner matchup. It had nothing to do with Oklahoma City's relationship with Devon Park. She said, on the contrary, they were outstanding partners to work with. Here's the 2-0. Downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. It simply was for that reason, and the reason that the Olympics will be here in 2028. And before long, that venue is going to start to be taken over by the U.S. Olympic Committee. Called strike, it's 3-1. And at some point, everybody's vacating that facility. So the bottom line is, why not do it now? And Oklahoma Christian was a willing partner. I like this venue. I think it's a great small college venue, and I think it's a very intimate setting for professional softball. Swing at a foul tip. Jocelyn was swinging to make it 3-0, and it's 3-2. They installed the temporary bleachers out there in right field. Everything else sold is tickets behind home plate that wraps around for the first to the third base on deck circle. Much smaller venue than the one that they've called home, but you know, you could put 5,000 people at Devon Park and it still felt like there wasn't anybody there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That hit her on the shoulder. So Check now has nearly hit Coleman and did hit Allo. And the first 2 have reached in Oklahoma City. You just get the feeling Taylor is working on a big inning here in the third.
No, yeah, I agree with you. And Zed has just been really wild. I mean, I've been watching like the spin on her ball, and that's just kind of funky. And then later on in the count, that's when she starts to get wild.
We're going to check on Allo at first base. Florida's going to use this as an opportunity to go out and visit, as Leah Amico, told you, a former UCLA Bruin, is out of the dugout. That's not Leah. It's actually the team trainer for Florida. And I think she's going to have to come out of the ball game. She is. She's coming out of the ball game after a case of wildness to the first 2 Spark batters. Sam Gress, Gress, is going to come in. We'll take a quick 1-minute break. 1-minute break coming up on the franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Dr. Luke and I want you to have sharply focused vision and clear sight.
We have lots of ways to make that happen.
If the outside surface of your eye is the problem, we have LASIK.
If the lens inside your eye is the problem, we have custom lens replacement.
People come from across America to have their vision corrected at ClearSight.
But for you, we're just down the street.
ClearSight, the ability to focus and see clearly, will bring you happiness every waking moment.
And because we want you to be happy every waking moment, we're willing to finance whatever procedure you need to have clear sight.
We'll agree on a down payment and then let you make payments on the rest
at 0% interest.
Why do we do that, Dr. Luke?
Why do we offer finance procedures at 0% interest?
Yeah.
Because it would have meant the world to me if they had been willing to do that when I had my procedure.
Yes. I'm Dr. Anna.
And I'm Dr. Luke.
You'll find us at clearsight.com.
At ClearSight, we do it right.
We're not finished until you're happy.
Clearsight.com.
Third pitcher of the night for Florida. Second of the inning, Estelle Check had a bad case of wildness. She's out. Nearly hit Coleman, did hit Allo. First 2 have reached for the Spark. Here in the third, and out of the bullpen comes Sam Gress, Gress, 5'7", native of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, by way of the University of South Carolina. Here's Kenzie Hansen. Flied out to center field. Most well-struck ball with a 3 by Spark batters in the first. Gress gets set, now brings home the pitch. And it's downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. These 2 didn't face each other in college. They would if they were still a Gamecock and a Sooner, though, because OU moving to the SEC this past season, won the regular season, and split the postseason tournament title with Texas A&M. Here's the 1-0. And there for a strike, it's 1-1. She was a 2025 third-team All-Region selection, second-team All-SEC, and was also on the All-SEC defensive team as a pitcher. Gress is 1-1. In tight, 2 balls and 1 strike. Throw into third, and not in time. A stolen base for Jada Coleman.
Yeah, and great base running by Jada Coleman. Sees the ball is dropped and immediately takes off to third.
So Jada has gone first to second at a pass ball and then advances and steals third. So Oklahoma City just a short distance away from taking a 2-0 lead. Here is Gress. Hanson saws off the pitch and fouls it into the bullpen down the right field line. Prior to South Carolina, Gress pitched at Charlotte in 2024. Began her high school journey at North Carolina State, then pitched 2 years at Charlotte, then finished up at South Carolina. Welcome to the world of college athletics. Here's Gress's pitch. Ground ball to third, knocked down by Mosley. One play to first, just did get Hanson. Over to second goes Allo. So a somewhat productive out for Kenzie Hanson. Now 2 in scoring position for Brito, and 1 away.
Yeah, one thing that really surprised me, if you're watching on your screen, ball hit to Mosley. Jada Coleman's right in front of her trying to play with her, and I feel like Jada was far enough off where she may have been able to tag her instead of going to one on that.
Well, the problem was she didn't handle the ball initially cleanly. Kind of rolled up her glove and on her arm, and then she caught it on her stomach and was able to throw over to first. And that may have been because of what you were talking about. Jada Coleman distracted her. Brito is double to the ball game. Takes a rise ball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Sam Gress in 2019 was the Pennsylvania Softball Player of the Year. Prepped at Central Dauphin High School and won a state championship. The first in school history. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 district medals, 3 different sports. Golf, basketball, and softball. Sam Gress. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brings home the pitch. Change up inside, 2-1 the count. Her father, Mike, and I bring this up just so I can say this, played college basketball at Susquehanna High School or University. Love it. Here's the 2-1. In the dirt, good block by Frazier, saved to run it. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. So there's you some information on Sam Gress, who came in after Estelle Check allowed the first 2 hitters to reach for the Spark here in the 3rd. Florida knows against Spark pitching they can't afford to fall behind in a big hole. 3-1 the count. Hitter's advantage to Brito. And that one is popped into left field and caught on the run by Canedo. Coleman comes home. She slipped. Now turns back to third. Threw into third. Not in time. It's a good thing she slipped. Because if she had taken another step or 2 and committed more towards home plate, she was out. And I can tell you there's nothing wrong with Canedo's arm. That was a perfect throw.
No, I definitely agree with you. But now we're starting to – Dot Richardson is going to go ask the umpire how Jada Coleman wasn't out on that, getting back to third.
Now the third base umpire, Ewald, is going to call for Harden and Kuykendall to visit near the circle. Now, I understand she wants an explanation, but if the third base umpire who was standing right there didn't see it well enough to make the correct call, how is he going to get help from the home plate umpire 60 feet away and the second base umpire who's probably 80 feet away?
And I think that's a conversation that the home plate umpire is having with her, saying that he's behind, he can't see. And although it looked like Sarah Mosley had the ball before Jada got back, she almost kind of avoided the tag by just sliding a dip to her left. And I think that's the reason why she was safe.
Here's Sydney Sherrill. Another opportunity to expend a 1-0 Spark lead. Boy, this felt like a big inning for Oklahoma City. So far, it has produced nothing. There's Gress pitch. Fouled off. And it's strike number 1. Coleman thought that was not fouled. She thought it was a swing and a miss and went off Frazier's glove. But she sent quickly back to third base. Allo, the runner at second. He reached to start the frame against Estelle Check, who then has been lifted. Here's the 0-1. Change up, hit pretty well into left field, not well enough. Canedo with the warning track makes the catch. And Cheryl put a charge into it, but we remain 1-0. 1 hit, 2 left, 4 stranded through 3 for Oklahoma City. Spark lead at 1-0 over the Florida Vibe on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year. Tyler Media and First United Bank. Care.
It's summertime, and kids are playing in the summer sun. But before you know it, Oklahoma parents and caregivers will be swimming in back-to-school to-dos. Visit backtoschoolok.com to get your checklist for everything you need to know about birth certificates, shot records, immunizations, and well-child exams. Get an A+ on back-to-school readiness at backtoschoolok.com.
The Franchise.
The addition of Mr. Jaden Ott, man, you could hear like the legitimate excitement from Venables, from Mateer, and from Jim Nagy about what Jaden Ott is going to bring to the table.
D&B on the radio.
You can just kind of sense the genuine excitement he is about seeing all these pieces come together and him like leading the charge as to how to try to make this work.
D&B on the radio with Daniel Bell and Bob Prisbello on 107.7 The Franchise.
2025 Spark Softball brought to you by the Oklahoma Chevy Team Dealers. Spark Softball says thank you, Chevy Team, for your support of women's professional softball in the Sooner State. Todd Miller, Taylor McKittrick, Chris back at studio. The Spark Broadcasting Network working hard to bring you the pictures of this one tonight. 1-0, but Taylor, that really feels like an opportunity squandered by the Spark. Caneto, who was busy out in left, will lead off. Roop, and then Ratcliffe. Inning number 4. The closest and only tight game between these two, won by Florida and Bradenton a couple of weeks ago. First pitch downstairs to Caneto, 1 ball, no strikes. Penta set for a while back at that bottom of the 3rd inning, hoping that she would go back out with a little bit more breathing room, but still not much room for error at all. 1-0 OKC. There's the pitch. Chopped to the second base side. Torres has it over to first. Caneto now 0 for 2.
Yeah, the same result last time as well, hitting a ground ball to Torres.
So Torres at one point of this ballgame retired 4 straight and 6 of the first 7. She now has set down 4 of the last 6. Fielded error by Torres at second. Single by Adams back in the same inning. Pitch away, 1 ball, no strikes to Roop, R-O-U-P-E. Starting right fielder tonight for Dot Richardson of the Florida Vibe. Penta shakes the first side off, gets the second, now brings it in. Drops downstairs, 2-0 the count. The 4-3 ground out of Kara Caneto is the second fewest pitches that Penta has thrown to a Vibe hitter tonight. Tied for the second fewest. She got Mosley on a pop-up that was dropped by Torres on the second pitch of the 3rd, and then retired Roop. First pitch swinging, ground out to 3rd to open the 2nd. Other than that, Maddie Penta has worked a lot of deep counts. Fastball away, 3 balls, no strikes. Whatever that was of the PA, I don't think it was meant to sound that way.
No, it sounded like the whole thing was going downhill.
Here's the 3-0. Called strike, 3-1 to count. The Florida Vibe out of Bradenton, Florida. Told you part of the Sarasota metropolitan area. Here's the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. So the second free pass given up by Maddie Penta, the first since she walked Taylor Pleasant with 2 outs back in the first. Here's Ratcliffe. She grounded out third to first. Bradenton is home to a spring training facility. First pitch to Ratcliffe is downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. They have been the spring training home of the Pittsburgh Pirates since 1969. See Haley Lee going out to the circle. Back in 2008, the city and the Pirates signed a new 30-year lease. That was back in 2008, at which time there were more than $20 million in renovations done to the Pirates facility. One on, one out, 1 ball, no strikes to Grayson Ratcliffe. We're in the fourth, 1-0 Spark. Fastball away, 1-1 the count. Spark are 4-0 at home, having won all 4 against New York back in mid-June to start the campaign. They have been on the road, as we told you, 29 consecutive days. 1-1. Just misses, 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, usually you can figure an umpire strike zone out. I have not been able to figure out the strike zone of Kuykendall tonight. The 2-1. Lined into center field and down for a base hit. So 2 of the first 3 have reached to the Tide run in scoring position out for the Vibe. And the catcher, number 7 hitter Sierra Frazier, came into the plate. Well, this might be an escape hatch for Maddie Penta. 7, 8, and 9 tonight, a row for 3 with 2 strikeouts, including Frazier back in the second. Mosley, who's on deck, didn't reach, but she popped it out into shallow right center, a ball that should have been caught by Torres but was dropped. Vibe have 2 hits. 2 out single by Hannah Adams back in the third. Now the 1 out single by Ratcliffe here in the fourth. First pitch from Penta downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock right here at Tom Heath Field at Oklahoma Christian. Time is running out to come out and see a Spark game this summer. It'll pop up on the infield, and Torres can't make the sliding catch, and everybody's safe. It's going to be an infield hit.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it wouldn't be an infield fly since no one was just standing under calling it, or it was just an easy catch. That's my guess.
Yeah, that was not a routine play. It's going to go with a hit, an infield single. And now the tying run is 60 feet away. The go-ahead run is at second base. And Penta has her back to the wall as much as she has all night. There's a comebacker to the circle. They come home for 1, throw to first for 2, and a double play. 1, 2, 3 equals 0 for the Florida Vibe. 2 hits, a walk, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Good Gal still leading 1-0. This is Spark Softball on 107.7 The Franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
We all play a role in keeping our communities safe. Oklahoma is no stranger to attacks. It's now easier than ever. If you see something, say something. The free and anonymous Protect OK app allows instant reporting of suspicious activity, both in schools and the community. You can help keep your family and friends safe. Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Download the Protect OK app today in the Apple app or Google Play Store. Funded by the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security.
Emma, they're wearing pink, and Piper and Reagan wearing blue.
Plan today
so
for the Delta Waterfowl Duck Hunters Expo, July 25th through July 27th at the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds.
All right, you guys ready?
Join Delta Waterfowl and thousands of your closest hunting friends for 3 action-packed days of excitement, entertainment, education, and expertise covering all things duck and goose hunting. Learn more and buy your tickets now at deltawaterfowlexpo.com.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year.
All right, who's going to be the
Tyler
winner
Media
now?
and First
Let's
United
make
Bank.
some noise
Care.
for Piper and Reagan going home with the prize pack.
Sam Gress set to begin her second full inning of work. We move to the bottom of the fourth. 1, 2, 3 double play, just as tailor-made as you please. Gets Maddie Penta in Oklahoma City out of a bases-loaded one-out jam and keeps it 1-0 Spark. If you're coming out to any of the final home games, including the Champions Cup, which starts Saturday night, be sure and tag Be the Spark on social media with any memories you have here at the ballpark, and you'll be automatically eligible to win an autographed Spark team ball. Haley Lee, who's driven in the only run of the night, an RBI sac fly in the second, leads off the fourth. Sam Gress, righty versus righty. Good off-speed pitch at the letters for a strike, going 1 the count. It is an absolutely beautiful night. Not that it's pleasant temperature-wise, but beautiful here at the ballpark. Summer has finally arrived. Called strike away, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. I'm not complaining because the electric bills have been cheaper. The water bill has been cheaper. In fact, probably tonight or tomorrow, we're going to turn on our sprinkler for the first time this summer. And it's July 20th or 21st. The 0-2. Lifted into right field. Well hit. Root goes back and right at the wall makes the catch. So back-to-back hitters, Sherrill to close the third, Lee to open the fourth, have taken Gress deep, but nothing to show for it.
0-2. Great at bat by Lee. That pitch was 0-2, and if you're Gress, you're thanking your right fielder for making that catch, because 0-2, that needs to be more off the plate.
Riley Boone has flied out to left. Taylor working under adverse circumstances tonight. She really can't hear in her headset. First adversity as a young broadcaster. First pitch is a strike to Boone, 0-1. If that is the only problem, my friend, that you ever have near a microphone, count yourself very, very fortunate. No balls, 1 strike. Taken downstairs. Riley 1 ball, 1 strike. Boone flied out to left field, back in the second. One ball, 1 strike. In comes the pitch. Tried to bunt, nicked it foul. 1-2 the count. Riley Boone was part of the winning team in the home run derby here 30 days ago. Teamed with her former teammate at the University of Oklahoma, Kinsey Hansen, and also Sydney Sherrill. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out in the fourth. 1-0 Oklahoma City. Here's the pitch. Hit left side. Right to Sellis at short, over to first. And Riley Boone didn't even run. She's already headed back to the dugout, and there's 2 away.
I'm honestly a little shocked by that. I don't know why she didn't run.
I've never seen that from her.
Now batting second baseman number 40, Alina Torres.
Here's Alina Torres. Walked and was left back in the second. Whoever does not win this game is going to be left to ponder at this pace what could have been. Both teams have missed a lot of opportunities. First pitch, change up, strike, 0-1 the count. Spark have left multiple base runners in the second and third. Florida has left a total of 5 base runners, including 2 each in the third and fourth innings. They had the bases loaded at the top of the fourth and 1 out before a comebacker turned into a 1-2-3 double play. One hopper out to second, stabbed by Adams, drops it, throws to first in time to get Torres. And that is 6 in a row retired by Gress since coming in for Czech back in the third. We head to the fifth under a blue sky evening here in Oklahoma City. Spark lead at 1-0 on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year. Tyler Media and First United Bank. Care.
A drive to your dreams. Tune in every Sunday at 8 a.m. to the Red Dirt Golf Hour on 107.7 The Franchise, or find the show on the FranchiseOK.com podcast page. Discover Oklahoma's finest fairways, hidden gems, and the greens that challenge. Brought to you by the Oklahoma Golf Trail, where every course is a new adventure. Visit oklahoma.golf for more information on the best courses in Oklahoma. The Red Dirt Golf Hour, your weekly tee time for the love of the game.
Big things are happening at Mathis Homes. Save all summer long with price drop alerts all over the store. Their suppliers have cut prices and they're passing those savings on to you. Get new lower prices with top name recliners as low as $199 and huge markdowns on hundreds of sofas and all the latest styles. Now's your chance to save big for every room in your house. There's something for everyone. Plus, get 12-month no-interest financing and free delivery. Check out these price drop alerts and save at your furniture superstore, Mathis Home.
Maddie Pinto will get 9-1-2 here in the fifth inning. Todd Miller, Taylor McKittrick back with you on the Spark Broadcasting Network at 107.7 The Franchise. Sellis, then Greenwood, then Hannah Adams. Pinto has shut out the Florida Vibe on just 3 hits through 4 innings, but it has probably been the most stressful 3-hit shutout of her career thus far. And the Vibe had the bases loaded, 1 out back in the 4th inning, and Pinto, who's a good fielder of her position, took a 1-hopper, came right home and turned it into a 1-2-3 double play.
Quick, just because I see it, I know you probably don't. Torres moved to third, Rachel Becker came into second, Michelle Moultrie went into right, and KK Madry moved to left.
So Coleman is out of the ball game.
Coleman's center. Coleman is still there.
Yeah, she's still
Riley
out there.
Boone came
Swing
out.
and a miss. You're right, Riley Boone came out. 0-1 the count to Sellis. So Torres is now at third base. Rachel Becker is at second. Michelle Moultrie, who is from Florida, is out in right field. 0-1 pitch. High chopper over the circle. Backed up, though, by Becker. Throw to first in time. And there's 1 out. It almost makes you wonder if Boone was injured on that play that she did not run, or if she's been taken out because she didn't run. First pitch strike to Greenwood, 0-1 the count.
I wonder the same thing. I did see her also before pregame running. It wasn't Jaden Wallace, it wasn't Amber Flores out there running with her, so I wonder if that was their trainer and there is an injury.
No balls, 1 strike. That would be more like the fact that her just not running out of ball. Ground ball to the circle, fielded by Pinto over the first, 2 gone.
Yeah, and Vibe trying to do anything just to get base runners on, but Pinto's doing a great job of obviously on that fielding her position and just keeping them off balance.
Here's Hannah Adams. She singled and popped out to short. So Allo and Brito remain as they were to start the game at first and short. Becker at second. Torres moves from second to third. Late swing and a bullet foul up the third base side. 0-1 the count. No balls, 1 strike. Quickly 2 out. Nobody on. We're in the 5th inning, starting to get late for the Vibe, although it's just a 1-0 lead. Word I'm getting is that from downstairs, Riley Boone was injured. Don't know the severity. Pop-up foul down the left field line. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, that would make sense because that was just uncharacteristic of Riley not to run down the first baseline. Because even on a ground ball to the left side, she has a chance to beat that out. In comes the 0-2. Line to the left center field, and that's down. Over to cut it off is Madry. Now it's off of her glove. Headed to second with a tying run, Hannah Adams. The 2-out double.
Yeah, and Jada Coleman was shifted actually towards left center, just not shifted over enough, so they were in the right positions, just hit it a little bit to the right of Jada.
Boy, if the Vibe are going to go down tonight, they are not going to go down easily. They have had hits now in 3 consecutive innings, a total of 4 tonight off Maddie Pinta. There's Taylor Pleasant. She's walked and struck out. First pitch is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. This is a very, very deep pitching staff. Megan Golden, Kelly Maxwell, Maddie Pinta, Amber Pfizer. Now Jaden Wallace, the pitching coach, is out there to talk to Pinta. I can't imagine there's another professional team, again, not an international team, another professional team that has 4 arms like that. There may be some in the Athletes Unlimited League, I don't know. I can tell you this. We've seen Florida and we've seen New York, and they do not have the 4 arms that Oklahoma City does. Now Kuykendall, the home plate umpire, has gone out to the circle. Jaden Wallace is still having a conference with both Pinta and Haley Lee. Military Appreciation Night. Wednesday night before the regular season finale. Free American flags. Lots of fun activities planned between now and the end of the homestand. And I say that from a regular season standpoint because New York and Florida both will be here starting Saturday through Monday for the Champions Cup. Pitch down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. What we're hearing is that all 3 teams will play one day a doubleheader. And from what we're hearing, it would appear that Oklahoma City will play their 2 games on Saturday. Here's the 2-0. Called strike, 2-1. The best way to find out, OKCSpark.com. You can follow them on all sources of social media. Spark going for back-to-back champions crowns. Check swing, foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last year, those 3 were joined by the host Chattanooga Steam in Tennessee. Oklahoma City won the event. Chattanooga did not have a team after their inaugural season in 2024. 2-2 the count. In comes the pitch. On the carpet, and a good block that time by Haley Lee. I about said dirt. It's carpet.
It does get confusing because it is the color of what dirt would be.
I'm telling you, it looks like dirt from up here. It really does. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch pulled to the right side. Glove by Allo to first. Hit it over. A double, but another runner stranded for Florida. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Good Gals won. The Vibe nothing on 107.7 The Franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Dr. Luke and I want you to have sharply focused vision and clear sight.
We have a tradition here where we get out our phone
If the outside surface of your eye is the
light up the night.
we have LASIK.
If the lens inside your eye is the problem, we have custom lens replacement.
People come from across America to have their vision corrected at ClearSight.
But for you, we're just down the street.
ClearSight, the ability to focus and see clearly, will bring you happiness every waking moment.
And because we want you to be happy every waking moment, we're willing to finance whatever procedure you need to have clear sight.
We'll agree on a down payment and then let you make payments on the rest
at 0% interest.
Why do we do that, Dr. Luke?
Why do we offer finance procedures at 0% interest?
Yeah.
Because it would have meant the world to me if they had been willing to do that when I had my procedure.
I'm Dr. Anna.
And I'm Dr. Luke.
You'll find us at clearsight.com.
At Clearsight, we do it right.
We're not finished until you're happy.
Clearsight.com.
The Franchise.
We have our man, it's Sparky. It's Dayton Forsyth.
The Franchise Afternoon Show.
It was a really good season. I couldn't have asked for anything more. Played with a great group of guys, had some great older guys to learn from. And then also, like, obviously, our great coaching staff that we have, like, watching film, just helping me any way they could. And we had a great season. Really, really great season. I couldn't ask for anything more.
The Franchise Afternoon Show with Matt Burton and Tyler Neal on 107.7 The Franchise.
Stretch time here at Tom Heath Field, the Oklahoma Christian campus. 1-0 Oklahoma City. Madry, Coleman, Allo, as Oklahoma City flips the lineup over here in the 5th. And it will be all three of theirs first look at Sam Gress. Gress came in after Coleman and Allo had reached back in the 3rd. She has yet to allow a spark base runner. 3 fly ball outs, one to very deep left, the other to very deep right. 3 ground ball outs. No strikeouts thus far. Madry lays down a bunt. It's foul. Strike 1. So we're underway in the bottom of the 5th. KK started in right, went to left with what we're being told is an injury to Riley Boone.
And something that just came up to my head, KK Madry, coming from Liberty University, almost has it harder tonight because Doc Richardson kind of knows her weaknesses.
Very good point. Nothing in one the count. Gress rocks and fires. And delivers the 0-1 pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. We told you that Gress was a national champion at our high school, not a national, a state champion at our high school. First time the school had ever won a championship. Was the Pennsylvania State Player of the Year, went to NC State for a year, Charlotte for 2, and then South Carolina. One is in tight, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Gress would have been on the Gamecocks team that visited Norman and Loves Field this past season for the first ever SEC home series for OU softball. And that was a wild series, high-scoring affair. In comes the 2-1. Downstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. The Sooners swept South Carolina, but in honesty, they very easily could have dropped all 3 of those games. And the trajectory of the season could have been much different. In comes the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, chased high heat, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sooners finished their first trip through the SEC at 17-7. And again swept South Carolina. And there's ball 4. So Madry becomes the first spark base runner against Gress. Let's see what they do with Jada Coleman. South Carolina at the time of the meeting was ranked 10th or 11th in either one of the polls you look at. Sooners won 10-9, 10-9, and then 2-1. So that series very easily could have swung the way of the Gamecocks. Jada Coleman is singled and fouled out tonight. Left-handed hitting center fielder. And the first pitch is a changeup that she looked at for a strike, 0-1. You wonder if they'll have something on here with Madry. She has pretty good speed out there at first base. Now they want to talk about it. Out to the circle, Frazier to talk to Gress. Flores visiting with the next 3 hitters, including the current one, Jada Coleman, as well as the runner at first, Madry.
Yeah, and you have speed at first. You have speed up to the plate. And Flores is smart. I would just love to be down in that conversation, and I want to know what play they're about to run.
Sam Gress pitched at least 1 game of the series with OU. Pitched a scoreless inning in the 2-1 loss to OU. She walked 1 and struck out 1 batter in her 1 inning of work. So that tells you just exactly the type arm that Oklahoma City is facing here. Someone that is forced into high leverage situations in the SEC. Conferences are over. Now we're ready to resume. No balls, one strike. Runner goes. They had the hit and run on. It's fouled at a play. A Becky Stevens foul ball.
And foul balls are brought to you by Becky Stevens State Farm.
So Coleman has to be defensive. No balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I'm really surprised we didn't see an off-speed pitch there at the beginning, an 0-2 count, and Gress has a really great off-speed pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Low and away. It would have been a good one to run on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Madry stays put. Gress in the game 2 of that series pitched 2 innings, and despite giving up 6 earned runs with 3 walks and 6 hits, she did not factor in the decision. That was the middle game of the series in Norman. Pitch is on the carpet, and all of a sudden it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Sam Gress against the Sooners in her 2 prior appearances here in the state, while she didn't pitch very well, did not get a decision in either one of those losses to the Sooners. She's a good one. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fouls it back to the netting. The count holds 3 balls, 2 strikes. Great crowd here on hand for the home return for Spark softball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Madry at first, Coleman at the plate. There's ball 4. So Gress now maybe starting to show a little bit of crack in the armor. Had retired her first 6 she's faced. She's given up 3 passes to number 9 and 1-hole hitters, and now must face the NCAA career all-time home run leader in Jocelyn Allo.
Yeah, great at bat by Jada Coleman. Working from an 0-2 count to a walk, that's really great at AB.
Tomorrow night, team jersey night. First pitch just after 7 here at Tom Heath Field. Tickets at OKCSpark.com. 2 on, nobody out. Gress's first pitch is a changeup at the letters. 0-1 the count. Remember what I said back in the 3rd inning when the first 2 hitters reached? Feels like maybe a big inning. Getting that same smell this time, but unfortunately the last one was a false sense because nothing happened. Thanks to Sam Gress work coming in on the pin. 1 ball, 1 strike to Allo. Pitch was in tight. Good look at number 78, Jocelyn Allo. Proud native of the state of Hawaii. There's the 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Didn't pull the trigger. It's 1-2. Her home state is facing some possible tsunami warnings. Right now, I think it's a tsunami watch after a 7.2 earthquake off the coast rumbled the ocean floor this past week. Here's the 1-2. Out in front of it, and that still was a bullet that is foul.
Yeah, she is so strong. That ball came off that bat really hard.
And it just comes off so easily. I mean, it's not always a crush sound. All just explodes off of the bat. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball, right side, into base hit. Madry comes around from third. She'll score. It's 2-0. Allo has done it again. She's driven home another run. And again, you see her protecting the plate, the zone. Taylor down 2 strikes to the count.
Yeah, and just perfectly placed ball. Hannah Adams, the second baseman, was actually shifted over a little bit to her right, more up the middle, and the ball was bobbled in right field, but even if it wasn't, I think KK Madry just has so much speed. I think she's making it in at home safe no matter what.
2-0 Oklahoma City. The Spark with runners at first and second. Hansen, the chance to do damage. Kinsey flied out to fairly deep center field back in the first, rolled out third to first back in the third. First pitch is hit deep into right center field, and that ball is gone. K9 touch a ball. It's 5-0 Oklahoma City.
Yeah, just swinging early in the count, and I was still writing down stats from Jocelyn Allo's hit, so I barely didn't even look up in time to see the home run.
They play Who Let the Dogs Out as K9 touches home plate and is greeted by her teammates. Kinsey Hansen in the top 6 in career home runs at the University of Oklahoma. 4 more than her head coach Amber Flores. She finished with 60. Big blast here in Oklahoma City finally has broken this game open. It's 5-0. Here's Brito, who doubled and flied out to left. So finally that big inning we've been looking and waiting for has come, and it is in the 5th. First pitch is away, 1 ball, no strikes. Here is something to watch. There is nobody out. We're in the 5th. OKC needs just 3 runs to walk this game off after 5. Game that was 1-0 through 4.5. Here's the 1-0. At the letters, soft speed, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hansen almost hit the flagpole out there in right center field. It didn't miss by a foot or more to the left. The flag, incidentally, is almost completely limp out there now, so the wind has really died down. Pop up, and that's out of play first base side, and Brito behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights at 7. 6:55 coverage on 107.7 The Franchise and the Franchise app, as well as the Spark Broadcasting Network. Gress winds and brings it home. Sawed her off, but she stays alive. Hits it off the top of the netting. And on cue, that wind has picked up a little bit. Flag is back out there blowing. Not as persistent as it was, though, at 7 o'clock when it was out of the south up over 16 to 17 miles per hour. The sun has set. It is a beautiful warm night here in the capital city of Oklahoma. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing at a foul tip. Frazier unable to hold on. I don't know if you and I have talked about it or not, but there is no such art as catching a foul tip. That is hogwash. There's no talent to it. It either sticks in the glove or it doesn't. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball away. Brito acted like she wanted to, did not. It's 2-2.
Yeah, and this will actually be the 7th pitcher that bats. So Brito already having a really good at bat.
Were you a catcher?
I was utility, so I did play catcher at some
So am I right about
points.
that?
I would have to agree with you. Yep.
I mean, it hits in a glove, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, there's a liner into the left field corner and just foul. Hooked right at the last instant in front of the foul pole, or Brito makes it 6-0.
Yeah, and I think if she would have been a little bit more on time instead of pulling that ball just a little bit, I think it would have been fair.
I don't know if that's a good sign or not. The police just pulled up next to my car. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fastball high, 3-2 the count. Maybe he just wants to watch from the outfield berm. Interesting, he came in with his lights on, though. Here's the 3-2. Into the handle, probably chase ball 4.
Yeah, and in 9 pitches, that is the 4th one that she's fouled off in this at-bat.
I could have saved him a stop if he was wanting to know if the tag was current. It is current. Now he's driving off. 3-2 the count. 5-0 Spark thanks to a 4-run fifth here at Tom Heath Field. Pitch. Boy, she was out in front of that changeup and was lucky to get a piece of it. 2025 Oklahoma City Spark Softball is proudly presented by the Oklahoma Chevy Team Dealers. 3-2 the count. Long at bat between Gress and Brito in the payoff. Chase ball 4 again. That was down and in, and she fouled it off. Is it fair to say that Brito's a good bad ball hitter?
No, for sure. I mean, I'm so impressed by this at bat. I think this is the longest, obviously, that we've seen this game, but going on the 12th pitch now at this at bat.
That weighs heavy on a pitcher on a warm night. Humidity not as high as it was this time last week, though. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball to short. Glove by the shortstop. Sellis throws to first and got Brito. How about that pivot and throw? That was a big-time play by Sellis at shortstop.
Yeah, really great play, heads up. I mean, having to go up the middle and just really working hard for Gress after that 12 pitch at bat.
First out of the fifth, Sydney Sherrill comes to the plate. Sherrill just missed a 3-run home run back in the 3rd inning. She took Gress deep to left. Sydney 1 for 2 tonight, a scratch hit. That one hit Jordan Johnson, the starter tonight for the Vibe of the Circle. First pitch to Sherrill. Change up at the letters for a strike, 0-1 the count.
And that is actually Becker
You're
off
right.
the bat instead of City.
Yep. Sherrill came out of the ball game because Torres is now at third base. So Rachel Becker, the former Oklahoma State player, with her first at bat. Next pitch, changeup, took it for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Rachel. Told you Rachel played both at Purdue and at Oklahoma State and was among the best to ever wear the uniforms for the Boilermakers and the Cowgirls. No balls, 2 strikes. Chased one upstairs, slaps it back and out of play. Rachel Becker, in her college career, was on base 49 consecutive games in the year 2023 from February 10th to April the 29th. So she has the ability to start rallies and reach base, trying to get something going with one out. She's behind 0-2. Gress's pitch. Did she go? No, she did not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bubba Ewald has been busy tonight. A couple close calls at third and several check swings. One and 2 the count. Righty versus lefty. Becker takes it to the carpet. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To tell you the difference in this inning, as opposed to the first 2 with Gress in the circle, she did not throw more than 5 pitches to any of the first 6 batters she faced and retired the Spark 1, 2, 3 of the 3rd and 4th innings. She's had a 12-pitch at bat in this inning alone. Here's the pitch upstairs, and Rachel lays off. It was high, 3-2.
Yeah, and starting off the inning, worked into a full count, and then going to Jada, full count, Jocelyn 2-2. So just working a lot of pitches with these Spark hitters.
So look at the Vibe pitcher, Sam Gress. Now Becker awaits in the payoff pitch. Change up, rolled just fair over the first base bag, and Pleasant has it to retire Rachel. So 2 away. And here's the catcher, Haley Lee. I'm just glad Penta's going to go out there in the 6th, if there is a 6th, with some breathing room. She has fought tough around some jams, nursing a 1-0 lead. Haley Lee drove in the first and only run of the night until his 5th inning. An RBI sac fly in the 2nd, 1 ball, no strikes. Moxie making her way through the crowd down below. Here's the 1-0. Hit hard and foul on the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Glow sticks, American flags, a whole lot more giveaways during this season-ending homestand for the Spark. Only about 8 days remain of the season, counting tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Called strike, looked tight, 1-2 the count. I'll tell you, I am really proud of the Oklahoma City Spark crowd. I wondered, with the team being out of town for 3 weeks, how they would respond. They have responded in big numbers tonight. 1-2, swing and a miss. Down goes Lee, and the inning is over, but Hansen caps the inning with a 3-run bomb, 1 of 2 hits and 2 walks. We go to the 6th, 5-0 OKC on 107.7 The Franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year. Tyler Media and First United Bank. Care.
Big things are happening at Mathis Homes. Save all summer long with price drop alerts all over the store. Their suppliers have cut prices and they're passing those savings on to you. Get new lower prices with top name recliners as low as $199. And huge markdowns on hundreds of sofas and all the latest styles.
All right, fans, it's time for Moxie's Flex Cam. I'm here with Moxie. Let's show them how it's done. You got to flex just like that.
12 months,
hey, let's see those muscles.
And free delivery. Check out these price drop alerts and save at your furniture superstore, Mathis Home.
The franchise.
OU linebacker Kobe McKenzie joined us.
The franchise players.
We got guys on 3rd down when the bell's ringing. They're trotting.
There we go. Let's see you flex.
And so I think for us to be a really good defense, we have to go get that. And I think we do have that. Obviously, our Mason is elite. Everybody knows that. One of the top pass rushers in the country. We just went and got Marvin Jones Jr. Hopefully, PJ is healthy this year. He should be. So, man, I'm excited. The season couldn't get here fast enough for me.
The franchise players with Kelly Gregg and Jerry Ramsey on 107.7 The Franchise.
6th inning from Tom Heath Field. 5-0 Spark, finally with some breathing room for Matty Penta, who will face Caneto, Roop, and Ratcliffe. At least those are the 3 scheduled hitters for the Vibe. That's 4, 5, and 6. Matty Penta, who had a record-breaking career at Auburn University. Opens the 6th and misses for ball 1. At Auburn, she was coached by former James Madison head coach. One ball, 1 strike. And I point that out because she's now the assistant coach at James Madison. Might remember the Dukes run in the Women's College World Series several years ago. Fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Help me, Odyssey. What was her last name?
Alexander. Odyssey Alexander.
Yep. Led by Odyssey Alexander. They actually beat Oklahoma the first game. Sooners came back, beat JMU twice, and went on to win the College World Series. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check swing, fair ball. Right at the first base bag. Allo has it and steps in the bag. That ball couldn't be any closer to foul territory and still be fair as it was there.
Now batting right fielder number 15, Rachel Roop.
Mickey Dean was the head coach at Auburn when Penta was there. Here's Rachel Roop, walked at a ground out. First pitch is a strike. We're in the 6th, 0-1. 5-0 Oklahoma City. Penta spins the ball. Now brings home the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went right after her, and Roop could not catch up to the fastball. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and Pinta's just doing a really great job starting ahead in the two batters that she's faced.
Something we talked about earlier, she seems to get stronger as the game goes longer. 0-2 the count. Popped it up, straight back at us and out of play. Told you that against the Vibe in Florida a couple of weeks ago, she accounted for 14 outs, 12 strikeouts, and 2 putouts. She has not struck out a Florida hitter since striking the side out back in the third. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. It was on the carpet. Lee throws to first, and there's 2 gone. How about that? It's called foreshadowing.
Yeah, and Lee almost overthrew Alo at first. Alo kind of having to come up just a little bit to make that catch.
Strikeout number 6 for Maddie Pinta. 2 away for Grayson Ratcliffe. Maddie Pinta, the all-time winningest pitcher in Auburn Tiger history. Swing and a miss for a strike, 0-1. 941 strikeouts, 706 innings. Here's the 0-1. Line to the left center field and down for a base hit. Coleman comes charging and cuts it off. So a 2-out single for Ratcliffe, her second of the night. And here's Sierra Frazier. Maddie Pinta actually is from Chesapeake City, Maryland.
Now batting the catcher, number 20, Sierra Frazier.
Her sister Mariah was in the Auburn program as well. Her mother played softball at the University of Delaware. 1 ball, no strikes. Pinta last year played in the Athletes Unlimited League. Went 2-1, a 3.94 earned run average. 16 batters, struck out 21 innings, hard hit ground ball. That one eats up the shortstop, and that'll go into center field. Brito couldn't quite handle it, and now 2 are aboard with 2 outs here in the 6th.
Yeah, and that ball really hit hard off the bat of Frazier. It looked like it even gained more momentum by hitting that turf.
That'll be a hit for Sierra Frazier. She has 2, and here's Sarah Mosley. She's reached once, and she was the one that grounded into the 1-2-3 inning double play with the bases loaded back in the 4th. Pinta delivers, and that one is low. 1 ball, no strikes. She made 141 appearances, 122 of those starts at Auburn from 2021 through 2024. 76 and 36, 197 earned run average for Maddie Pinta. Fly ball, shallow right, and out goes the second baseman Becker, who was impeded momentarily by the field umpire. She works around him, makes the catch, and the inning is over. 2 hits, 2 left. Florida continues to strand them a lot tonight. 5-0 Spark, as we go to the bottom of the 6th on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Empty set. There's the snap. Back to pass. Looks right. Darts one across the middle. Intercepted. Kip Lewis has it. Far sideline 50. He's down the sidelines 40. He's to the 30. Kip Lewis down the sideline being chased to the 5. He reaches. Touchdown. Touchdown. Kip Lewis pick 6. Kip Lewis pick 6. And the Sooners
all right, Spark fans, it's time to dance. It's time for our dance.
The Franchise is your exclusive home for Oklahoma Sooners sports.
Here's the 0-1. Swings and hits it deep to center field. We'll see you Saturday afternoon in the winner's bracket. Ella Parker walks it off, and Oklahoma has beaten Tennessee.
Daily complete coverage of Oklahoma Sooners sports.
Waukee offensive rebound. Back out to Sparky. Forsythe around the pick. He'll launch. Got it. He's still hot from Oxford.
107.7 The Franchise, 1560 AM, and 103.3 FM The Franchise 2, and the Franchise mobile app.
It's a swing to your soul, a drive to your dreams. Tune in every Sunday at 8 a.m. to the Red Dirt Golf Hour on 107.7 The Franchise, or find the show on the franchiseok.com podcast page. Discover Oklahoma's finest fairways, hidden gems, and the greens that challenge. Brought to you by the Oklahoma Golf Trail, where every course is a new adventure. Visit oklahoma.golf for more information on the best courses in Oklahoma. The Red Dirt Golf Hour, your weekly tee time for the love of the game.
Oh, the crowd, the fans having a good time tonight here at Tom Heath Field. Youth Night series opener referral between the Spark and the Vibe, 5-0 Oklahoma City. 7, 8, and 9 will bat for the Spark. Michelle Moultrie will bat in place of Riley Boone, who was injured on a ground out to short back in the 4th inning. Michelle Moultrie, one of the most decorated softball players in the University of Florida history, now will face the Florida Vibe. Bradenton to Gainesville is a little bit of a drive. If you're just joining the Spark with 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 5th. Haley Lee, a sac fly in the 2nd, the big blow, a 3-run Hanson home run in the 5th, and Moultrie takes a pitch for a strike, 0-1. Kress begins her 4th inning of work. Kress had retired 6 straight, then 4 straight reached. She retired the last 3, though, in the 5th. Kress is 0-1. Hit right back up the middle on a base hit. Michelle Moultrie, who is one of the older players of this roster and certainly one of the veterans that have been with it since day 1 of the franchise back in 2023, with a hard single to center. It brings us to the 2nd baseman turned 3rd baseman, Torres, who's walked and grounded to 2nd. Spark 3 outs away from a 13-3 start to the season. Torres tries to bunt, bunts through it for a strike. It is 0-1. If the Spark win out, if my totals are correct, that would be 8 wins, and they would have 20 or more wins for the 3rd consecutive year. Here's the 0-1. Little fister into center field. That's down for a base hit. Moultrie will hold up at 2nd. Just like the 4th spot in the 5th, the 6th opens with back-to-back base runners for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and Torres did a great job of setting back on that changeup. Seeing it at the very first pitch where she tried to lay that bunt down, but did a great job adjusting.
I bring that up because Oklahoma City won 21 games in the inaugural campaign back in 2023. They went 21-16. Last year, they won 20 of 27. This year, they are 12-3. Here comes Dot Richardson out of the dugout. She wants to say something to Troy Kuykendall, the home plate umpire, and I think we're going to get a pitching change. We are. So the 4th pitcher of the night for the Vibe is coming in, and it would appear to be Elizabeth Hightower, number 22. We'll be back with the first pitch from Hightower after this 1-minute break. A 1-minute break here on 107.7 The Franchise of the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year. Tyler Media and First United Bank. Care.
Hey Sooner Nation, I'm Jacob Sexton with OU Football. As the official custom clothier of OU Football, William & Lauren outfits us in custom suits that boost our confidence both on and off the field. Their perfectly tailored clothing ensures every Sooner stands out in comfort and style at prices that make luxury accessible. Visit William & Lauren in Oklahoma City or online at williamandlauren.com. Dress like a champion and make your style as legendary as OU Football.
Troy University assistant coach Elizabeth Hightower, formerly from the University of Florida, will come in here in the 6th, and she is charged to keep this thing no worse than it is at 5 runs for the Spark. Back-to-back singles by Moultrie and Torres, with Madry coming to the plate. You wonder if KK will maybe sacrifice with Jada Coleman and then Allo coming up to follow. So Elizabeth Hightower will be the 4th pitcher used tonight. Johnson, Check, Gress, and now Hightower. Officially 3 innings of work for Gress. That's the longest of the prior 3. Tonight's starter Jordan Johnson, 1 run earned over 2 innings. Check pitched to the first 2 in the 3rd. And then it's been Gress leading to Hightower here in the 6th. She is a native, is Hightower of Monticello, Florida. First pitch is a fastball away, 0-1 the count. Tell you what, if you're going to see the Spark 3 more times and at least 4 between now and next Monday, you hate to be using 4 pitchers of the opening night. These two just saw each other 3 times down in Bradenton. Here's the 0-1. Line to the gap for a base hit. That's going to score. Moultrie around 3rd. Now coming around from 2nd is Torres. The throw home safe, but it's a 2-run triple for KK Madry, and so much for sacrificing. It's 7-0 Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Madry did a really great job of just positioning that ball, and honestly, she almost caught up to Torres.
I really wondered aloud, Taylor, if she wouldn't just sacrifice with Coleman and Allo coming up. Instead, she split the gap and rolled it all the way to the fence in right center field for a bases-clearing triple. Here's Jada Coleman. There's a line drive out of the right field, caught by Roop. That's going to tag Madry. Here comes the throw. She'll slide home. It's 8-0 Oklahoma City, and that'll do it. So the Spark walk it off with a 3 spot in the 6th inning. They win it by a final count of 8-0. Taylor McKittrick is heading to the field. She's going to at least visit with Amber Flores on our postgame show. 8-0 the final score. Oklahoma City now 13-3 and 4-1 this season against Florida. Our postgame show is coming up after this break on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Big things are happening at Mathis Home. Save all summer long with price drop alerts all over the store. They're suppliers of cut prices, and they're passing those savings on to you. Get new lower prices with top name recliners as low as $199, and huge markdowns on hundreds of sofas in all the latest styles. Now's your chance to save big for every room in your house. There's something for everyone. Plus, get 12-month no-interest financing and free delivery. Check out these price drop alerts and save at your furniture superstore, Mathis Home.
Park at West Point at Yukon is your key to comfortable life, with upscale apartment homes available today, offering sophisticated blends of modern design, premium amenities, and a vibrant community. The Park at West Point is where the allure of upscale living is brought to life in Yukon, with a 24-hour fitness center, 2 resort-style pools, dog park, and much more. And right now, get up to $1,500 back when you move in. Park at West Point in Yukon. A case of
It's time to announce our winner of the signed
It's a swing to your soul, a drive to your dreams. Tune in every Sunday at 8 a.m. to the Red Dirt Golf Hour on 107.7 The Franchise, or find the show on the FranchiseOK.com podcast page. Discover Oklahoma's finest fairways, hidden gems, and the greens that challenge. Brought to you by the Oklahoma Golf Trail, where every course is a new adventure. Visit oklahoma.golf for more information on the best courses in Oklahoma. The Red Dirt Golf Hour, your weekly tee time for the love of the game.
Franchise.
In the new era of college football, we expect to be a program that is a year in and year out consistently a playoff contender. And I believe the sum of all of our parts with this football team, the 2025 version, gives us a chance to have a really good football team. We've got a lot of work to do, a lot of improvement to do through the next several weeks in fall camp, and then even into the season and the challenges, how that will shape us and help us get better.
Your home for the Sooners, 107.7 The Franchise.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here to the campus of Oklahoma Christian University in Oklahoma City. The Spark begin their final regular season series of the year with an 8-0 win over the Florida Vibe to improve to 13-3. Florida drops to 12-14. Oklahoma City now 4-1 of the season against the Vibe, the team out of Bradenton, Florida. And the Spark do it, 8 runs, 8 hits. They committed the game's only error. No runs, 6 hits tonight for the Vibe, no errors, and they missed some opportunities. 6 stranded, the Spark stranded 4, and of course, maybe the game turned for good in favor of Oklahoma City in the 4th when the Vibe had the bases loaded and 1 out, and coming to the plate was Sarah Mosley. She hopped one back to Maddie Penta in the circle, who threw home for 1. They throw to first for 2 in time, and the game remained 1-0. And then ultimately was all that Oklahoma City would need. The Spark were able to tack on 3 runs, make that 4 runs in the 5th and 3 in the 6th to end the game early by a final count tonight of 8-0. The winner is Maddie Penta. The loser tonight is the first of 4 pitchers, Jordan Johnson. She gave up just 1 run, and that came in the 2nd inning tonight. And that was all Oklahoma City would eventually need, winning this one tonight by a count of 8-0. Hoping to get a comment or two from Amber Flores down on the field from Taylor McKittrick. And haven't seen Taylor down there just yet. 8-0 our final score, and Oklahoma City starts the final stretch of the regular season in a good way with their 13th victory against 3 losses. And they showed indeed tonight why they really are one of the best softball teams in the entire world, going to 13-3 with an 8-0 victory. We're going to take a break. Hopefully we'll have Coach Flores coming up next as our post-game show continues on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Big things are happening at Mathis Homes. Save all summer long with price drop alerts all over the store. Their suppliers have cut prices.
Just 1 minute, please.
Savings onto you. Get new lower prices with.
Hey, yeah, Todd, I'm here with Amber Flores and Kenzie Hansen, and Amber, going against them 2-1 this past week, what was the mindset going into tonight's game?
I mean, just coming off a long road trip, honestly, we were just trying to be as efficient as possible. Like, credit to the players.
Let me have it,
Chris.
We're
ready to go, good attitude. We try to be efficient in warm-ups and make it a little bit shorter, but really just come out and play good softball. Anytime we got Penta going, she's been great all summer, so it feels there's so much confidence behind her, honestly, with the players and staff, and so we felt good going into today. Tired, but good, really good.
Yeah. Kenzie, for you, you had 2 hard hits in your first 2 at-bats. What was your mindset going into that 3rd at-bat?
I mean, my mindset was just to make my adjustment. I know that I didn't get the results that I wanted the first 2, but just to trust the process. I knew I was going to get a good pitch to hit in my last at-bat, especially if they were trying to get me to roll over for a double play. So really just trying to work up the middle and do it for the girls because, like she said, we've had a long road trip and we were trying to get out of there. So let's put it on them and let's go.
Yeah, and like you said, Amber, Maddie Penta has been one of your best pitchers by far this season, and a little rocky in the first half, but she got to it in the later half. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, it's just Penta being Penta, really. I don't think any of us are surprised at this point. She came in different this summer. I think Hanny would agree with that. She just looked different from the jump. It looked like she really got her legs under her. After her first year last year, she was coming off of Auburn where she threw huge innings there, and so she looked tired. But at the beginning of the year from the get, she's been great. And so I don't even – if it's ever a slow start with her, there's no worry at all, ever.
Yeah, and going through 4 pitchers from the Vibe, what's y'all's mindset going into tomorrow?
Well, we've seen pretty much their whole staff, and we've already seen them last week and early in the summer. So we're just excited to see good pitches and hit the ball hard because, in my opinion, 1 through 9, we've got the best professional lineup in the country. So we're just coming out having fun, playing hard.
Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Back to you, Todd.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Thank you, Kenzie, and thank you, Coach Flores. Both tired, as they alluded to, a long road trip, but they're back home, and in the win column again, 8-0 the final score. We'll take a final 1-minute break, and we will be back to say goodnight from Oklahoma Christian, where the Spark win it tonight over the Vibe 8-0 here on 107.7 The Franchise and the Spark Broadcasting Network.
Each year, teachers and parents spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on essential school supplies. Tyler Media and First United Bank have partnered to change that. Please join us in supporting our teachers and parents by donating much-needed school supplies to the Tyler Media Care School Supplies Drive. Go to the station's website for details, and then drop off your donation at any First United Bank to ensure all students have a successful school year. Tyler Media and First United Bank. Care.
Heading to OU, Texas? Stay at the Home for Sooner fans, the Renaissance Hotel in Addison. Join the OU Club of Dallas for the Beat Texas Pep Rally Friday night with Boomer and Sooner, the Sooner Schooner, Spirit Squad, Roughnecks, and the Pride of Oklahoma. Saturday night, celebrate the victory at the Renaissance Hotel Bar. Accommodations start at just $190 per night. Visit OUClubofDallas.com and reserve your room before they sell out. Funds raised go to scholarships for Dallas area OU students.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here for the final time on our post-game wrap-up where Oklahoma City wins at 8-0. Maddie Penta, as they said, doing Maddie Penta things tonight, getting yet another win in her first appearance here as a member of the Spark at Tom Heath Field. She goes the distance, and again, the Spark best, the Vibe 8-0. The loser, Jordan Johnson, the starter who gave up one earned run in just 2 innings. We'll do it all again tomorrow night and the next night and the night after that as this 4-game season-ending homestand continues. Oklahoma City will take on the Florida Vibe tomorrow night at 7. We're on the air with the pregame show at 6:55. For our entire broadcast crew, for Chris back in studio, our Spark Broadcasting Network crew mates next door, and for Taylor McKittrick, I'm Todd Miller. Till we see you tomorrow night from Oklahoma Christian. Good night, everybody.
We now join VSiN, the sports betting network already in progress on 107.7 The Franchise. KRXO FM and KRXO HD, Oklahoma City. You are listening.